Tul Mohan Rao, 73 scandal, some rag scandals and all that in Commerce Ministry.
Pondicherry license.
Where you know, I also worked as a director in Commerce Ministry. He said beautifully, which I really tied up. He said, अगर इन सालों के लिए काम करना, दस्तखत भी इनके होंगे. They must accept the responsibility. So I interpreted that if responsibility is mine, authority will also be mine. I will not take orders from a joint secretary or deputy secretary. I said I'll talk to the minister itself. So, though the law of land is absolutely, as my friend N.K. Singh has said here, that superintendence, direction, control lies with the government, except in corruption cases, which was slightly amended when went to the CVC. But that is immaterial, because CVC is full of retired bureaucrats who have been only rewarded for the services rendered in the past. So it doesn't mean anything at all. Now government is interested only in a minority of reports. I will tell you in one case. In my presence, he telephoned the concerned minister who became a prime minister.
So are you accepting that?
And he said, Director CBI doesn't agree.
Right.
Nothing ever happened to me, and I was willing to pack my bag. When one other prime minister asked me for the scam, to take a particular line.
A very demanding role, because there is in fact a lot of political pressure.
No, I'll answer this question.
Yeah.
You have to form correct habit of expectations of the politicians. They have to write you after this.
My approach is this. The legal system is very clear, and we all function under the legal system.
Absolutely.
And under the legal system that is under which we work here, we work under CRPC. The CBI does investigation.
Are you saying that it is a normal practice for the CBI to share reports with the ministries?
Another thing which I wanted to tell you and convey through you, so far as Attorney General and Additional Solicitor Generals are concerned, because I was never an Additional Solicitor General, but I was a Senior Central Government Standing Counsel in Delhi High Court. Always comments comes to the Standing Counsel or to the Additional Solicitor General or the Attorney General. They used to prepare the affidavit. They know each and everything, but it is not possible that the Attorney General or the Additional Solicitor General will you can say temper with the actuality which was given by the investigating agency, or they will prepare the draft or the affidavit in their own choice instead of the facts comes on the record.
Right. So you're saying that CBI is actually not an independent organization. I'll come back to Mr. Singh also, and next on the other side of this break, I'll ask Mr. Chibber what he thinks about the latest revelations and also his take on CBI's autonomy. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Public Forum. In this edition of Public Forum, we are discussing whether autonomy for CBI can be a reality. So if CBI is an independent organization, or is it dependent, or it actually succumbs to political pressure? Coming back to you, Mr. Chibber, your take on the latest judgment of Supreme Court, where it says that CBI is a caged parrot speaking in its master's voice.
I think the court has been very charitable to the CBI, because I don't see any cage and I don't see any parrot. It's actually a case of a lapdog. A mere joint secretary, he's a middle rank IS officer. He wants to see a report. He wants to make changes. The law minister of the country, whose own position within the government is a bit shaky now, he wants to make changes. And he doesn't even call the CBI director. His staff does. His staff passes on a message to the AG's office. The AG's office, his private secretary, calls up the CBI guys, and both of them, they start from the CBI headquarters, and their next stop is the Shastri Bhavan, which is the office of the law minister. So how deep, how much more degradation are you going to see? The CBI director, he says, I am answerable to the government. I am part of the government, and he's not apologetic about it, mind you. He's saying this with all, Ivy Shiite talked about CBI's autonomy in the same, with the same kind of assurance that he had when he was making this statement. So I think, all of them are making fools of themselves. I'm sorry to say this, but I still think that the
has now asked for an affidavit from government by next hearing on July 10th that how it can insulate CBI from political and external interference.
To start with, I will mention about what he said about both of us are retired, so we can tell the nation. Well, after retirement, we can go on commenting and saying things from outside. But the real scope to do something acted in what sense? That we have upheld the rule of law. What we expected, I can give only one instance briefly. Sankis case. It was a very sensational case. Everybody knows. And I was in charge of the investigation. Jogendra also knows about that case. And there was change of government. The case was registered. The crime was committed when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And Narasimha Rao was the Foreign Minister. The case was registered when BP Singh came into power. And then after that, the government fell and the investigation continued. Once Chandrasekhar government, with Dr. Subramanian Swamy as the law minister came in power, supported by Rajiv Gandhi, and Chandra Swamy became very powerful, the pressure started. And pressure started on me. For instance, we'll call Chandra Swamy, he had sort of escaped from the nation. He went, the moment BP Singh took oath as Prime Minister, he absconded from the country, and the moment Chandrasekhar took oath, he came back. And then we will call him for interrogation. And there will be intervention from Prime Minister himself to the Director CBI, which will be communicated to me. Go to his ashram and interrogate. I said, no, he must come to the CBI. Interrogation means interrogation. And I go, and how can I interrogate and pin him down? Because I knew Chandra Swamy will tell everything. We are making very good progress.
In fact, if I'm not wrong...
And then government will say, withdraw the letter of the rogatory. I said, no, it will be contempt of court like that. We said, no, it cannot be done. Officer cannot be withdrawn. So ultimately, I was thrown out of CBI. But we acted. Once we are thrown out of CBI, you cannot register the case. Or
No, you can't inquire. Forget about registering the case. You can't inquire.
No, you can't inquire. You can't do anything. Now, the government retains the power of according sanction. Taj corridor case. It failed. CBI completed the investigation. Prosecution was launched. But Governor UP did not give sanction. And because he is appointee of the central government. So, these are the, transfer continues with the government retains that power. Power of filing appeal, revision in the High Court and Supreme Court. That also not with the CBI. It is with the Ministry of Law. And if we have a Minister of Law like the one we have today, you can well imagine how things will be decided. So
in many ways, the hands of CBI is actually tied. You don't really know how far you can go. And it is indeed very difficult.
I add one thing more to what my friend has said here. On 1st May, the cabinet passed a resolution which says that even after retirement, bureaucrats will have a shield. CBI will have to approach the government for sanction against them. This is not prevailing anywhere in the world.
Governments are surviving because of different small regional parties. CBI has actually become government's most trusted ally.
No, I won't say trusted ally. I am saying they trust the CBI not to take any action because they don't tell you now. Those days are over. NK Singh, Jogendra Singh, do this or do that. They have the power. You move to them for taking action against a decision maker. Come to us, raise 20 queries. How do you know so-and-so is property? Have you gone and inquired? When the law, their CVC Act requires that you need their permission even before starting the inquiry. So if you don't inquire, how do you know whether there is fact or not? They'll ask you all the relevant inquiries, and at the end of it, there have been cases. 2 months maximum, 1 month more you have to consult the legal officer. Are we governing or what are we party to this thing here? We have to dispose of the pending cases with the strength they have on this.
So on an average, the cases have been stuck for last 10 to 15 years, and many of these cases have also been diluted because of several reasons. We can quote n number of cases on this. I'll take Mr. Manan's comment.
Just 1 second. In that rape case of 16 December, Yesterday only, the witness who appeared here, and Supreme Court has said the same thing. He said they are asking him to question. Oh, she was lying there, is it? In what position she was lying? Why did you telephone the police? Irrelevant question. He said, I have committed the biggest mistake in becoming a witness for the prosecution. I will not come again.
Right.
Then judge had to say, no, please confine yourself to this thing. There is no defense. How do you expect any justice for anybody here when you are browbeaten? And Supreme Court said here, we only want to say that our system is more kind to the criminals than it's to the victim.
Right.
Please.
Mr. Manan, your comments, we've heard what the Supreme Court has also said. It has said now that probe reports can only be seen by CBI Director and Supreme Court. In this scenario, at a time in 1997 when retired CJI J.S. Verma had also given several important recommendations, have we come a full circle from Hawala case to today's Colgate scandal? Nothing has changed. Even the Apex Court could not really ensure the implementation of the recommendations.
You see, they are trying their hard. As you just was apprising that coalition government, I will give an example of just so many landmark judgments. In few cases, in such and such cases, you don't require a sanction under section 197 CRPC. But still, sometimes the investigating agency are sitting on the files. Not only CBI, I can give an example, CID, CBI and the state police also. We should not discuss in isolation CBI today.
Right.
We should discuss the state police also, because people are suffering from the crime in the states as well. So we should discuss all these things in the state. It's more armed country today.
Okay. Mr. Chibber, are we hoping too much when we say that Supreme Court is now expecting an affidavit from the government by July 10th in the next hearing, saying that it will in fact take steps to insulate CBI from external influence and interference? Do you think it can be a reality at a time when we have seen the 1997 judgment as well?
You know, it's very unfortunate that the Supreme Court had to, ask for such an affidavit from the government. Then Vineet Narayan case, the judgment is crystal clear. They wanted certain things to be done so that the CBI was brought out of the government's influence. Successive governments have did not do that. They ensured that CBI, unfortunately what has happened is over the years, CBI, whichever party is in power or whichever coalition government is in power at the center, they have been misusing the CBI. And the previous judgment also. So if, since 97, if the governments have not done that, what the Supreme Court yesterday is saying is, what the Supreme Court yesterday said is that, you tell us what are the steps that the legislature will do or the executive will do to ensure CBI is autonomous. So Supreme Court, number one, cannot direct the legislature to do anything. The government will say, we'll do this. What if tomorrow the government does not do it? And I'm telling you, 10 years down the line, we'll be having this same discussion on this. Yeah, everybody wants to use the CBI.
Okay. So different names given to CBI, Closure Bureau of Investigation, Compromised Bureau of Investigation. Rather very unfortunate when you say that even 10 years from now things will not change. Next, when we come back, we'll raise more. We'll discuss another important issues on CBI. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Public Forum. In this edition, we are discussing about CBI. Can functional autonomy be given to CBI, and also if the government can ensure that CBI works as an independent organization. Coming back to you, Mr. Chibber, if you can just elaborate on the judgment given in the Vineet Narayan case by J.S. Verma.
Verma bench, one of the biggest points that Justice Verma in the judgment recommended basically was that there should be two mutually independent wings in the CBI. One would deal with investigation, another would deal with prosecution. Both would not function in cohesion with each other, and both would be independent. Unfortunately, after so many years, government 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I did a story, government had moved a cabinet note, UPA government, rate of prosecution. And the biggest problem is that the CBI director, successive CBI directors have been opposing having such a service. Today, who do you have as a director of prosecution in the CBI? A retired joint secretary, rank officer from the Ministry of Law. So you can very well imagine to whom this joint secretary would be reporting. You know, you trust me, I know how the government functions. Every important politically sensitive case, each and everything, in fact, I think that is why I say this CBI director was foolish to actually go to Shastri Bhavan. He should have actually sent that director of prosecution with the file to make the changes.
Your call.
I will. Number one, I will start by saying that I am not so pessimistic that CBI is investigation work, for its investigation work, it cannot be insulated at all. Well, there will always be some how it can be taken away. Now about Directorate of Prosecution. Well, you have a point, but I must say I have worked in CBI for a long time, and CBI is the only agency, investigating agency in the country even today where it has a separate legal wing, which is, Jogendar should bear me out, which is headed by LA, legal advisor, and that legal advisor is a person on deputation from Ministry of Law.
He's from Law Institute.
And I can tell you from my, and you know, here in CBI, you see, it was built up by Lal. No, let me complete. Please put up with me a bit, you know. I mean, you are giving observation as an outsider. I am saying something as an insider. I may be wrong, you may be right, but just...
And you are extremely optimistic, he's extremely pessimistic. That's a huge
This
difference.
is a difference. You know, the CBI was built up by no less a person than Lal Bahadur Shastri, who had zero tolerance for corruption. He was assisted by no less a person than D.P. Kohli, you know, who was first director of the state, a brilliant and outstanding officer, and Home Secretary L.P. Singh.
So has CBI deteriorated with time?
But
The
it has-
functioning of CBI.
Oh yes, it has deteriorated. Standards, and so let Jogendar, I'll just complete.
Because political class
No, I'm
existed
telling
then
you
as
about
well.
the prosecution side, you know
Right.
what I was going to highlight, which is perhaps not very well known to the outside, that there is a built-in arrangement there. If a branch of CBI is headed by SP, now investigation is done there. Now there is a PP, APP, and public senior PP, and during investigation itself, when after completion investigation, when IO submits final report of the case, part 1 is his, part 2 is of the senior PP. He is the legal advisor, and his views are there. Then at the headquarters there is a deputy legal advisor. Then at the helm is legal advisor, and he is on deputation from Ministry of Law.
Country's Prime Minister, and for 6 years he was the CBI director between 1971 and 1976, and later the Shah Commission also implicated him, saying that and criticized dissent.
I joined CBI when he was director. Jogendar was also there. So I can tell you that he was an outstanding director CBI. It's very difficult to have like of him today.
But a non-smiling fellow who will never encourage you.
That's a
Who will
different
never
thing.
encourage you for doing
Very hard
it.
taskmaster. But you know, a time came in the history of this country, political history of the when emergency came, when Mrs. Gandhi came to power. Corruption went no limits, and all the institutions, even emergency was declared. Censorship was introduced. Everything was sort of perverted, and under that, during that time, certain things were done in the CBI when D. Sen was director, but certainly, giving extension, he was given 2 extensions, and then when he crossed the limit, Ati Sarvat Parjayati, this said, and he faced the greatest humiliation of life. Had he not been given second extension, he would not have been director CBI when Janata Party government came, and he would have been a sort of arrested.
He deserved
Right.
it.
Your comments, Mr. Jogendar Singh, on...
I
Yeah.
would only say here, what my friend N.K. Singh said is substantially all right.
How do you look at
No,
it to the
no.
larger issue of transfers?
No,
Because
no,
every time...
I'm saying here, this is a part of the system, and the political master has the right to transfer you, except the director of CBI. We did not question it also. An SHO or a Thanedar or a station officer of our own choice.
Right.
And this is and in UP, this is what is one of the papers, in I think his paper reported, 1,828 police officers were transferred in the last 2 years. 1,828 here. So where is ultimately with the best of men and the worst of law and system, you can make a success. but with the worst of men and the best of last.
One such
will make a
officer,
mess.
the name I have is Mr. B.R. Lal, former Joint Director of CBI, who was the chief investigator in Jain Hawala case in 1995, was transferred 23 times in 12 years, and he wrote a book, Who Owns the CBI?
No, he was not transferred in CBI.
What
sir.
I
He,
get-
he
Yeah,
was
he was not transferred in
No,
CBI,
he,
yeah.
he came to CBI only in 1995 year.
Right.
Since he is no more, I don't want to comment on him. But he lasted only 3 months. You see, he was, I'm very sorry to say in this thing, he made some wild allegations before the presence of Prime
Right.
Minister.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't say
I'll
him
take
here.
Mr. Manan's
I
comments.
moved
Yeah,
his
Mr.
case.
Manan,
See,
yeah.
what
I
I
moved his
gathered
case.
from what you want, the answer from these two gentlemen, and including me and Mr. Chibber, transfer meaning by that as the transfer of the investigating officer who initiated the inquiry of Colgate, 1. 2, likewise other investigating officers have been transferred during the investigation. It is absolutely and palpably, I will say, wrong when the investigating officer sees the matter.
But in this case, the explanation is given that he himself wanted a transfer. He wanted, for his career growth, he wanted to go back to IB, Ravikant Mishra. This is what the newspapers have reported and what is being said.
At least I will not comment upon his why he was transferred, why he was not transferred. The question is, when the person is investigating the matter properly, at least